Imagine you're driving, just cruising along, and then you hit the brakes. That instant, precise stop. It feels so automatic, right? You kind of take it for granted. But have you ever really stopped to think about the complex, quiet tech that's working behind the scenes, making sure that happens reliably every single time? Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to peel back the layers on a really crucial but maybe often overlooked part of your car, the cylinder actuation market. Now, this isn't just about bits and pieces of metal, it's about the core systems that ensure vehicle safety and performance globally. Our mission today is to, unpack the key insights from a pretty comprehensive source, the Global Cylinder Actuation Market Outlook to 2033 report from Cognitive Market Research. We want to get beyond just the big numbers and really understand what's driving this vital automotive sector and why its evolution matters to all of us. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. When we talk about cylinder actuation, particularly for brakes, what are we actually talking about? We're essentially looking at the hydraulic heart of a traditional braking system.
Exactly. Think of the master cylinder. That's what takes the force from your foot on the pedal and turns it into hydraulic pressure. And then you've got the wheel cylinders or calipers in disc brakes, which convert that pressure back into the force that actually applies the brakes. Squeezes the pads, slows you down.
So the precision and reliability of these components are absolutely critical for safety, no question. And the market for these, essential parts is actually pretty significant. The report puts the value at $474.7 million back in 2021. And it's projected to nearly double, get this, to $923.2 million by 2033.
Wow, that's quite a jump.
Yeah, it reflects a steady compound annual growth rate, or TAGR, of 5.7%.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is that this isn't just simple growth. It's not just numbers going up. This projection really highlights some fundamental shifts happening in the whole global automotive world. It points to changing demands, much stricter regulations coming into play, and of course, ongoing tech advancements, all shaping the cars we drive.
Right, shaping the cars and the roads we use every day. So let's dig into why then. Why is this market seeing such, robust growth?
The report flags several key drivers. First off, just more vehicles being bought globally.
Yep, basic demand, both commercial trucks and passenger cars, especially in those emerging economies. More vehicles means more brake parts needed. Simple as that.
Makes sense.
And second,
Rising safety standards all around the world. This isn't just about airbags anymore.
yeah,
It's pushing for better, more reliable, more advanced braking systems that have to perform consistently under all sorts of conditions.
and the third driver.
Continuous improvements in the hydraulic braking tech itself. It's not standing still.
Okay, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, what does this mean for, say, the average driver?
Well, these advancements aren't just tiny tweaks. We're seeing real innovation in fluid dynamics, the use of lighter but stronger materials, and much better integration with things like electronic stability control and anti-lock braking systems, ABS.
Okay, so it's all working together more smoothly.
Exactly. It means your braking system isn't just about stopping anymore. It's about precise, controlled deceleration, even in emergencies. So for you, the person behind the wheel, it translates directly into a safer car, a more responsive feel. It's this constant push for innovation in an area that honestly profoundly impacts your daily commute, your family's safety.
That makes perfect sense. Now, let's look at where this growth is happening geographically. The report is pretty clear. Asia-Pacific is really dominating this market. It details growth from $178 million back in 2021, projected to hit $383.3 million by 2033. That's fueled by a really strong 6.4% CAGR.
Yeah, and when you drill down into the specifics within Asia-Pacific, the numbers really tell a story about the region's central role now in global auto expansion.
Yeah.
Take India, for example. It's actually leading the global growth charge with a remarkable 7.5% CAGR.
7.5%. Wow.
Yeah, driven largely by booming domestic demand, plus a big expansion in their own automotive manufacturing base. And then there's China, already the biggest single country market for this tech. It's projected to hit $165.2 million, growing at 6.8% CAGR.
Still very strong growth.
Absolutely. And Southeast Asia isn't far behind either, posting an impressive 6.6% CAGR. That's linked to rapid urbanization, more infrastructure, which just demands more vehicles. So you put these together, and it really underscores how much of the world's new vehicle production and adoption is centered in the East now.
That's quite a shift. But all right, let's pivot a bit and look at North America. Still a very strong player, a major contributor, even if maybe not growing at quite that explosive Asia-Pacific rate. The region's projected to rise from $134.3 million in 21 to $252.1 million by 2033. It's a solid 5.5% CAGR.
Right, 5.5%. And here's where it gets kind of interesting when you look within the region. The U.S., as you probably expect, is still the largest market there, set to grow to $188.2 million by 2033. That's a 5.2% CAGR.
Okay.
But look at Canada. It's actually outpacing the regional average, growing at 6.6% CAGR.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Well, the report links it to innovations in automotive manufacturing up there. Maybe a focused push towards adopting more advanced systems, perhaps?
Could be.
And Mexico also shows really healthy momentum, 5.6% CAGR. It just continues to expand its role as a major vehicle production hub, serving North America and even exporting globally.
So it paints a picture of like a mature market that's still finding ways to grow and innovate.
Precisely. It's not static.
Okay, let's move across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Europe also showing consistent gains here. The projection is from $92.1 million in 2021 up to $172.7 million by 2033. Also a 5.5% CAGR, interestingly enough, basically matching North America's overall pace.
Yeah, very similar overall growth rate. And within Europe, you see some standouts, too. The United Kingdom, for instance, shows strong performance with a 6.6% CAGR. Quite robust adoption there.
Matching Canada, actually.
Good point. And Germany, well, no surprise there, with its strong auto tradition, shows solid expansion at 5.8% CAGR, largely thanks to its big premium automotive sector, which tends to adopt advanced safety features early.
Right, the high-end market.
Exactly. And then the rest of your category also achieves a notable 6.3% CAGR. That signals strong adoption and market penetration happening in some of the emerging European economies, too.
So even in these established markets, the demand for reliable, advanced braking is still pushing growth forward.
Absolutely. It's a testament to that ongoing safety focus.
It's clear that growth isn't uniform, though. Some regions booming, others steady, and then we have other parts of the world with more, let's say, varied trajectories. South America, for instance. The report shows stable expansion. Brazil is projected to grow to $25.7 million at a 5.4% CAGR. Consistent, but not dramatic.
Right. And then you look at the Middle East and Africa, and the growth is notably slower overall. You do have some relatively higher performers, like Nigeria at 3.5% CAGR and South Africa at 3.8%.
Okay.
But others, like Turkey and Egypt, are hovering around the 3.1% mark.
Lower, definitely.
And the rest of the Middle East category shows really minimal expansion, just 2.4% CAGR.
What does that suggest?
Well, this raises an important question, doesn't it? How do these very different regional growth rates paint the whole picture? It seems to show varying levels of market maturity, maybe different economic factors at play, and possibly where future opportunities might lie. The data clearly shows where investment and innovation are, currently focused. Asia Pacific, North America, Europe. In those slower growth regions, it might suggest the markets are either more established, maybe approaching saturation for the current tech, or perhaps facing other economic headwinds. Future growth there might depend more on, say, brand new technological shifts rather than just more cars being sold.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together then. Synthesize what we've learned from this cognitive market research report. The core conclusion seems pretty unmistakable. The cylinder actuation market is definitely on a steady upward path globally. Solid growth.
No doubt about it. And just to reiterate, the main things pushing this momentum are clear. First, those stricter vehicle safety regulations demanding more advanced systems. Second, the sheer expansion of auto production, especially in emerging markets. And while Asia Pacific is really leading that charge in terms of sheer volume and growth rate,
Yeah, the numbers there are huge.
North America and Europe are still very strong, very consistent contributors. They provide a solid base. And together, it ensures this critical market stays, well, in high gear for the next decade at least. And remember, this isn't just about more cars. It's about cars becoming fundamentally safer, more sophisticated.
It really is remarkable when you think about how much impact this sort of, behind-the-scenes tech has. Something as basic as critical as vehicle safety. It's this constant evolution that we often just don't notice day to day. But it's making our roads safer, driven by this global demand and continuous innovation. And that kind of leads us to a final, maybe provocative question for you, the listener, to think about. Given these really significant regional differences in growth we've talked about, and the constant evolution of safety standards, plus new vehicle types coming in, like EVs, which might use different braking approaches, what do you think might be the next big innovation in braking technology? Something beyond the traditional hydraulic systems we've focused on today.
That's a great question. Regenerative braking is already here with EVs and hybrids, but what's next? brake-by-wire, something else entirely.
Exactly. And maybe even more interestingly, which global region do you think will really drive that next wave of innovation rather than just adopting it later? Think about how those global demands for vehicles, combined with ever-increasing safety expectations, will keep shaping this market in probably some unexpected ways. Something to mull over.